So Bloomingdale.
So here we're getting back to started in 40.
And tell us about your friend Henriette Granville.
Well, here we are right after the Warriors, and you are probably all too young to remember that it was very, very complicated times for many, many years. And suddenly there was an explosion out there of new design and new influences. People started traveling a little bit. And there was all this pent-up talent all over the place. And I only speak of home furnishings here, I never got involved in fashion, per se. And Bloomingdale slowly became a place, and it only was possible, since I mentioned that the fellow that really ran the store, he was the chairman, and directed it, that the big emphasis during those years was on the home and home furnishing. And we slowly became sort of a center for everything that was new, was exciting, and all the manufacturers, and practically everybody, who had something new to offer. And the things were very new. They were very different. There were the influences from Italy, mainly from Scandinavia, and we were able to show to the public, probably for the first time, all this wonderful merchandise. And for instance, and this was the time when the Museum of Modern Art started a program which was called Good Design. And it was famous Edgar Kaufman, and some of you, probably have seen, visited, we certainly know about the famous house, the Falling Waters, that he was, helping his father build and develop. And he was an enormous influence in the world, of design all over the world, actually. So he started this idea of showing, or assembling of merchandise that was mainly made in the United States, that was up to, what was then called modern and, shall we say, contemporary. And one store in each city was allowed to show this merchandise. And in New York, it shows Bloomingdale. And we met, when he came inspecting what, I put together. And that's the time when I met Mr. Kaufman. And we were only allowed to show what he had selected. And among other things, there was a wonderful stoneware, dishes. And I committed myself to show, with the 3 plates, I remember, and a bowl, a cup. Because here I was a department store where we are trying to show people how they can use different kinds of things, or more up-to-date things. And so we couldn't possibly sell anything to anybody without the cup. So Mr. Kaufman said to me, Miss Granville, I do not approve of the handle of that cup. This cup has to go. Well, the cup never could go because I pasted everything down. We are not a museum, we are a department store where everybody picks everything up. So, but that was the beginning of a long, long, deep friendship. And I spent, it was a wonderful, wonderful friendship, and I spent many, many summers with him in his house in Greece, and then, the picture before was taken in his house in Greece. Another, to Bloomingdale, we, as a store, were the first to show a comprehensive Scandinavian exhibit. There was an exhibit before at the Met, but there had not been anywhere the merchandise shown from the 4 Scandinavian countries, you know, to the public. And at that time, I became, you know, again, very friendly with some of the top designers, the architects who were, like with the new, who actually did 2 of the main big halls at the United Nations, and another one, you know, a great influence at the time was Rob John Gibbons. And you probably might remember, you know, his famous Greek chairs, and he too showed for the first time, did he, you know, allow a manufacturer here to produce his furniture for basically the market and not just for private people. And he too became a very, very good friend of ours. For many years, I visited in Greece even when he retired, and these were very exciting and wonderful years. So these are few.
Several these things in your home, I believe.
Some things, yeah. And then, you know, our reputation got to be so that there's a very important organization that still exists today, which is the Fashion Group. And these are the organization where all from the both editors to all manufacturers to everybody who have to do with fashion are members. And they started a home furnishing division because they were so impressed what was produced, you know, at the home furnishing level, that I became the chairman of the group, and basically what I had to do is produce two lunches, and you know, I stopped working, you know, in the late 70s, and then I was, you know, but during all the years after I left Bloomingdale's for many years, I became a consultant for many of the furniture companies, and to the many stores, to magnets, and I set up, you know, new stores, and I, you know, I did quite a lot of things over the years.
I love this pair of photographs because
well, this was the one, the picture on the left is a market, you know, is a presentation that I did for the Baker Furniture Company. By the way, the 3 best furniture manufacturers used to be in the Middle West. They were in Grand Rapids. Now everything is produced basically in the South. And Sloan's in New York bought the merchandise and produced the thing exactly the way I showed it, you know, I showed it in their showroom out in Grand Rapids to the buyers. So these are sort of fun things that happen.
Apparently that was okay. That's a compliment rather than plagiarism.
That's right.
And then the dance headquarters up in Mount Kisco, where I've actually driven around the outside of that building, sort of Mayan.
It is a Mayan temple, yes. It is exactly the owner of the dance, because that was in its time when it was created in the 50s. Again, it was the first time that a manufacturer who was, for instance, he was interested in tableware. Instead of just making glass, you know, before it used to be one manufacturer made glass, the other one would make dishes, the third would make cutlery, and the things never matched and never things. And it was a totally new concept that you should have to try when you want to, you know, have a little bit to design things or more contemporary things, that you have things that were designed to go together. They don't have to match, but at least should be compatible with things. And this is a company that for the first time, and by the way, most of the things were designed by Scandinavian, in Scandinavia, and were manufactured, you know, in Scandinavia first. So there was the unity, and that was a totally new concept. And today, whenever you go shopping, you will see, if you go to Bloomingdale's or Saks or wherever it is, that merchandise gets presented more by color and by how things fit together than just by themselves. And so today we're taking all these things for granted, but at that time these were all the new concepts of merchandise.